What's up guys, welcome back for the Yugioh Pro Duel video. Two new Tenyi monsters have been revealed or were revealed yesterday. Let's try them out. They are on Yugioh Pro, right? The new level 7 one, a fantastic card, banishes itself from the graveyard to special summon something from the deck, very similar to Orcust or the Orcust engine in general, right? You know, because of all their graveyard's effects, and it basically very similar, like the graveyard is pretty much their second hand, if that makes sense. Same for getting back stuff from the banished pile. The second new card here, the Synchro monster, it's their much needed boss monster, I guess. It's also a worm type as well. As soon as your opponent activates a monster effect, you can use the Synchro's effect to banish that particular monster. It can be important, it doesn't negate the effect, but it does banish the particular monster. And there are so many situations where banishing the monster and not negating the effect is superb, right? Superb. Anyway, the field spell kind of feels like an Underdark card. It's not really the card I feel I should be maxing out. Like drawing into multiple copies first turn is super deadly for you. It's basically one less card to set up your field. I mean, if going first, if you have the field spell, just activate it. Make sure you have like a normal, well, a quote-unquote normal monster on your side of the field, a non-effect monster, right? And then as soon as your opponent special summons a monster, you can draw 2 cards. Very similar to, let's say, Supply Squad or Supply Unit, you know, the continuous spell. But again, it's one of those cards that, okay, as soon as your opponent special summons a monster, you can draw 2 cards if you, well, fulfill the small restriction of controlling a non-effect monster. But if they don't, or play around it, the card didn't really pay it off. So it's a hit or miss card, I guess. Again, making sure that I have that link 3 on the field to being a non-effect monster can be or should be or is very important here in this particular archetype, especially if you have your grave fueled or filled with multiple Tenyi monsters, as in the Water is one of those key cards, the level 1 Tuner is also one of those key cards that keeps getting back banished stuff by banishing itself from your graveyard. Those are pretty much the 2 most important ones, and then of course this new level 7 one, the that can special summon something from the deck. Just keep recycling it or just search it, right, or set it up in your graveyard with the superb Searcher, the Rota, combined with Foolish Burial, a crazy Searcher by the way. Very powerful Searcher, and it's also one of those cards that Konami might be hinting that this archetype or this deck, this team, might be that upcoming top tier deck. But again, it has a lot of weaknesses though, like a couple of restrictions, of course, that, you know, like as soon as you activate a couple of their effects, you're only allowed to special summon worms from the extra deck, for example, or, you know, that their special summoning effect from the hand. Like there are multiple restrictions that kind of hurt the deck as well. And let's not forget is the weakness to Call by the Grave and hand traps. A well-timed Ash Blossom or Call by the Grave can nuke you. That's the small downside still, but again, same for Orcust, very graveyard-oriented deck. It shows a lot of similarities with Orcust, but the thing is that they're still lacking that broken interaction with, or that's like very similar to Rusty Bardish and Dingrisu. You know, like Reborn and then keep popping your opponent's stuff, play during your opponent's turn. That's something that this particular archetype still lacks. So again, we might see more support maybe released or maybe revealed in Chaos Impact to the new OCG set, or maybe other sets, right, other promos for the particular archetype, since it's definitely a very strong archetype, but it's just so weak. Currently, it's very hard to recover from a well-timed hand trap or Call by the Grave, for example. Anyway, so getting the Water in your graveyard, for me most of the time it's just like one of those cards that I quickly want to have in my graveyard, since again, as soon as your opponent gets rid of or destroys a non-effect monster on your side of the field, you can special summon it back again and then banish the Water, of course, and then pop an extra card on the field from your opponent. So a fantastic card. Anyway, Waterfall. The card is ridiculous. It feels like Super Rejuvenation in some way, although it's a trap card. And, well, you can just send any worm from your field or a hand to the graveyard, get those extra beneficial draws, hopefully drawing it to hand traps. Let's face it, that's what you want. And then, of course, use the Tenyi monsters from your grave, use their graveyard effects, basically extra pluses, especially if you put them there after a Waterfall. Again, making sure that I control here a non-effect monster monster being Monk. That lets me special summon some more stuff, and again making sure I'm going for Ogre, the Link 3. I don't think I would, at least I was able to attack for a game, I don't think so, but okay, it does go for Veilings, again giving me the extra draws, because I'm controlling the non-effect Link 3, 2 draws, no hand trap, that's fine. Using Call by the Grave here on the level 3 in his graveyard, not giving the opponent, you know, the opportunity to set up, and yeah, the Synchro Ogre definitely coming in clutch, banishing the Gazelle from his hand, right? Okay, Ogre doesn't negate, but it does banish the monster, so if Gazelle or the Burning Abyss monsters don't hit the field, they don't do much, right? Anyway, going first again against Orcust, definitely a very solid opening hand again, opening with the combined Searcher of combining, you know, Foolish Burial and Reinforcements of the army. I'm still playing 41 cards here in the main deck, not sure about Mare. It's an iffy card. I mean, my gut says that I should main deck it, it has potential, but on the other side I'm like, I feel there are... At least the deck needs more to abuse Mare, if you know what I mean. But again, I might miss some combos, right? Naturia Beast or Ip, the New World Chalice Synchro Monsters were also one of those cards, or those cards I might put in the main deck / extra deck as well. But I don't feel they are needed, or well, Naturia Beast maybe, but feels a bit awkward, I guess. Anyway, so special summoning multiple monsters, and again, getting back some cards from the extra deck, just maintaining some resources, getting some extra damage on board. The Fogblade was kinda expected, but the problem here is, you know, knowledge and reading the cards is that as soon as a normal type or non-effect monster declares an attack, you can use your Link 2 to pop a card from your opponent. So popping the Fogblade here, again, activating or keeping my Synchro intact. So again, as soon as my opponent uses a monster effect, I can banish that particular monster. Use Futterfall, hopefully drawing into hand traps again. Okay, Rusty Bark, this is cute. But again, yeah, having that Ogre banishing the opponent's monsters once per turn, of course, if they activate their effect. Again, a very strong card, very underrated card. And especially if you have your Link 3 on the field, your non-effect Link 3, fueled by or supported by your graveyard Tenyi monsters, you're in a very sweet position. Get rid of my Synchro monster again, establish my field. This was a small mistake on my part. I was like, okay, I can eventually go for the Link 2, use the effect to reborn something, reborn the Synchro, right? But completely overlooked Call by the Grave. It's fine. Again, have so many follow-up plays, double hand trap ready, Waterfall ready to potentially draw into more hand traps. Again, yeah, those are once per turn, but you know what I mean. Maintaining those resources and card advantage, of course. Cerberus here doesn't get a draw. That's again very important. Not let him draw an extra card, potentially setting up the Nightmare Mermaid indeed. And yeah, I have like +7 over the opponent. A big beat stick, and now I should be able to attack for the game. Yeah, the beneficial effect of this level 7 is, again, it increases the potential or the possibility of this deck of going for a level 8 Synchro very easily, and at the same time set up your level 1 tuner in your graveyard to get back something from your banished pile. So everything goes together, but it still feels like it's missing something. Like I don't know, maybe a good draw card, or am I asking too much? Something like a Destiny. Oh man, if they get like a Destiny draw, whew, maybe I'm asking too much, but I mean, a man can dream, right? Anyway, so banish the level 7 one, you know, the Compulse, right? It's, I mean, if you see in the OCG currently, if you see Tenyi played somewhat being competitive, or high level competitive play, it's that level 7, the Compulse one, that it's just being splashed into multiple decks, as in, it's basically just an extra effect monster on the field, and in any deck, it can just banish itself from the graveyard to bounce back something from the opponent. So it's basically a generic Compulse for your or against your opponent, and well, it's Link shenanigans. Again, setting up your Orcust engine, for example, giving you the 2 effect monsters needed. Anyway, so getting the Link 3 on the field, getting some more special summons again, making sure that I have that non-effect monster, yeah, indeed, non-effect monster on the field, reborn something, an extra beat stick. It also gives, well, it's basically a BLS as well. It's very similar to Borrel's Sword, giving the double attack and attack boost, and again, very similar to Blackluster Soldier when it destroys a monster by battle. It gives you the second attack on a monster, that is, again, very important. Anyway, so having Ghost Ogre in hand, having some extra protection in grave, yeah, having the Link 2 as well. As soon as my non-effect monster is being targeted by an attack, I can pop something from the opponent, or, you know, an attack is involved with a non-effect monster. But this is currently my deck. Like always, feel free to leave feedback about this list. like some, you know, some mare shenanigans. Other options, I'm looking at the Turia Beast, for example. This, no, Pot of Desires, Burial from a Different Dimension. It could be definitely very solid here in this particular deck, but it's one of these decks, or at least this deck, the R-Tap has potential, but it's still quite weak against hand traps, much weaker compared to other decks, like for example Orcust. But yeah, I feel the R-Tap still misses something. Anyway, okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.